Welcome in, my beautiful builders. In today's episode, we're going to be taking this section of my port and turn it into that. Let's get into it. Episode 10. The Big 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now officially in double digits for this series. And honestly, I feel like we've done great. I really do. Like, we've got some really cool builds in this world. And that last episode, boy, that was a beefy one. I feel like the last episode was symbolic of the girl at the talent show that just has the most beautiful piano music that she plays, and I'm the follow-up act, the kid who plays drums on his belly. But hopefully as this episode continues, those feelings subside, because we do have a pretty cool build for today's episode. But just to recap, in the last episode, we did a huge amount of landscaping around our area, and we got the entire layout of this port in place. All of this stone brick, all of the mountain carving out that we did in the last episode, just transformed this area into something we can actually work with. And one thing that I do want to comment on, because I saw a lot of comments about it, was a lot of people seem to think that this is going to stay stone brick forever. Yeah, that's not the case. Just thought I'd mention that real quick. But in today's episode, we're going to be heading over to this area right behind our docks, which we still need to work on. I'm not going to lie. This still needs to be done. Oh. Hey, did I miss a pillar? I did miss a pillar. What am I doing? I can't believe this was probably in the last thumbnail too, and I never even noticed. Okay, fixing this now. It's kind of like that piano talent show girl. She missed one note in her entire performance right there, and I just found it. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, today we're going to be building a medieval inn right up there for the people who dock over here at the docks. If they don't have a place to stay or they can't stay on their boats, they can come right over to our inn and stay the night in our wonderful kingdom. By the way, don't ask about the talent show references. I don't understand them either. I'm just making this up as I go along. But anyway, after the last episode, I'm sure it's not surprising that I kind of ran out of materials. I was out of pretty much everything. So between the last episode and this episode, I have done a little bit of grinding to get some more materials. We're back stocked up on a little bit of stone. We got ourselves some white concrete that we're going to be using in today's build. We have ourselves some spruce logs because I was completely out of that. Got myself some bricks from our villagers, and also got some gray concrete and some andesite, which regular raw andesite I'm still super low on, so I'm really gonna have to do some mining later on to get some more of that. But one last thing before we get too far into today's episode is I just want to say thank you guys, because either right after this video goes out or maybe even right before this video goes out, we will have hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's just absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough. I've been on this platform for over a decade, and I never thought that I would ever reach this, and thanks to you guys and thanks to this series, we've done it. We've hit 50,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, and I just can't thank you guys enough. So I just wanted to say right here at the beginning of the episode, thanks, and I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I also really like talking to you guys in the comments, so if you haven't left comments before, I do reply to basically all of them. So leave a comment. I love talking to you guys. Okay, so a medieval inn. This is gonna be a really cool, really interesting build. But I think first, I actually want to take a step back. You're joking. You're joking. Are you kidding me? Really? Really? Okay, alright. Alright, literally please be a thunderstorm. It's a thunderstorm! Oh my goodness, it's a thunderstorm. Oh! Oh, okay, so if you're new to the channel, every time I hit the record button in this world, it starts raining. And it had just happened again. Okay, I'm leaving that in the video. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, Medieval Inn. This is going to be a cool build. I have some ideas for it, but first I want to take a step back. Let's take a step back to how I design buildings, because this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, is getting an initial layout for a build, and really it's very, very simple. So let's look at a kind of simplified version, and then we'll come back to this build. So let's come over to here real quick and let's do a little bit of experimenting. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you need to know about making layouts for builds in Minecraft. And the first of those is that basically every build consists of two things. They consist of either circles, which are very easy to make in Minecraft and actually turn out looking pretty good for things like towers and such. And if it's not a circle, most things in Minecraft are some sort of rectangle. These two are the pillars for building in Minecraft. If you know how to make these, you can basically make any structure, because every structure in Minecraft, for the most part, are these two shapes. And you may be thinking, wow, Killa, that's a over-exaggeration. That's not true, blah, blah. No, ready? Let me show you. Ready? This tower. What does the base of this tower look like? It's a circle. It's a circle. That's the base of this tower. This building over here, what does the base of it look like? Well, it's a rectangle going back in that direction, and then another bigger rectangle coming out in this direction. It's just two rectangles that are overlapping each other. Oh, what about the tower in the back? It's literally a circle that's inside of those two rectangles. Circle, rectangle, rectangle. You got yourself that layout design. Easy peasy. Oh, you think that this doesn't work for most things in Minecraft? Well, I tell you what, real quick, what does the top of this bridge look like? Huh? You with me? By the way, my starter house? No exception. This is just a rectangle at the back with a circle tower stuck at the front. Boom. There's your layout. Easy peasy. And by the way, this is not to say that there's not other building methods out there. There are totally other building methods, such as building at diagonals or building organics and things like that. But you'd be surprised how many different builds you can get just out of a rectangle and a circle. I would even argue that most builds are just simple rectangles or circles. Okay, Killa, so what the heck does that have to do with this? Well, I tell you what, let me make this a little bit easier for you. So now let me ask again. Do you see it now? This is nothing more than three rectangles put together. Ready? All four of these corners of white concrete is one rectangle. Your next rectangle, cobblestone, 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 cobblestone. This next area, bricks. Brick, 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 brick. That is all that this entire build shape is. Rectangle here, rectangle a little bit shifted back, and then another rectangle off to the side. Boom, there's a build layout. In the computer science world, we would call this KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Maybe we should come up with like a Minecraft version of that. Like keep it simple, Steve. You know, because like the main character of Minecraft is Steve and okay, that's kind of funny. That was a bit humorous. Keep it simple, Steve. Yeah, it works. I like it. Okay, so we have our layout. Now what? I mean, honestly, I think that getting a layout for a build is probably the hardest part for me. Once I have a shape that I like, building things together comes pretty easy because I just take things by the sections I've already made. So again, we had these four corners here. I'm going to start and I'm just going to build this section up. And then Once I'm done with this section, I'm going to build this section up. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to build this section up. And I'm going to tie them all together as I build them on the roof line. Because as you might remember from that build over there, hold on, where's my spyglass? Ah, there it is. From that build over there, perfect, we have alternating roof heights. So our roofs are actually at different levels, and that brings more interest to the builds. Basically, we want to do the exact same thing here. So what I'll probably do is make this a little bit shorter roof, and then make this center bit a really tall roof, and then maybe this side bit is, I don't know, a medium level roof. So smaller roof, medium level roof, and big roof in the middle. Boom. Now we have a general plan as well. Now we have to come up with a theme. I mean, for this area, it's easy. It's a kingdom. Medieval. Let's get to it. And I know some of this may seem a little bit simplistic, but I mean, really, building is as complicated as you make it in Minecraft. You can make building super, super complicated if you start getting into, you know, building organic structures and things like that. You can get really complicated really quick, but you don't always have to go with like the newish trend in order to, you know, build something really cool in Minecraft. I mean, medieval style is still the most popular Minecraft style. So, I mean, if you can rock it, you know? As long as your world is cool looking to you, it doesn't really matter. And for instance, my world here, I like it. I think it's pretty cool looking. I mean, apart from, you know, certain things not being done, like that wall over there. By the way, I forgot to mention, I did finish the backside of this wall. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I still need to get the detail in on the backside of this wall, but I mean, I at least filled it in with stone, so yay! Props for Kilodrone, actually finishing things, finally. Now, let's say that you got your build layout, but you decide you want to get a little bit fancy, you know? So, something that you can do that's a little bit fancy is overhangs. Just overhang the top portion of your building a little bit from the foundation portion of your building. It'll look really cool in the end. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this on this build. So I'm just going to take some spruce logs and we're going to run a beam out, and it is actually going to sit on top of that upside down staircase. And then from here, we're just going to build up by 3. Over on this end, we're actually going to turn this to where it runs that way. And then 1, 2, 3, just like so. And we nailed it. All right, now for this overhang, we're just going to run a beam in between those two sides. That way we have a little bit of a connecting bit here. Now, we're just going to run some upside down staircases, and for this particular section, I want my roof to actually A-frame this way. And the reason for that is I want the middle part of this building, I want this one to have like the A-frame style this way. So if I did this one the exact same with the A-frame here and then this one with the A-frame here, I think it's going to look a little bit funny. So instead, I'm actually going to turn this one's roof to where it faces this way. So it's the A-frame this direction instead. It's just a difference of the roof. I don't think that it's going to matter a ton. If you want to do it this way, it'll probably look okay, but I don't know. I still think I want to do it this way instead. All right, so for this roof, I think I'm going to go with brick. However, one thing that I do want to mention is very often whenever you do builds, you don't want to do your roofs all the same color. So if this is 3 different roofs on one build, you don't want them all to have the same color. Let me show you guys, for example, once again, this build. I have bricks here and I have bricks here, but as you can see, over here, we actually are using dark oak. And then at the top, we're using spruce. 3 different roof colors. It makes them distinct. We're going to do the exact same thing with this build. So likely, this is going to end up being a brick roof, and then this over here is probably going to be a brick roof. But in the middle, I'm actually going to break up all of this red brick by filling in that roof with something else. Doesn't particularly matter what. In this case, I'm thinking I'm going to use this dark gray that I have, but it doesn't matter. You just don't want all one color. And that's one of those building tips that I actually see people make that mistake pretty often. They have one color for this entire massive structure, and in some cases it can look good, but in most cases it doesn't. And this is probably the point where different people are going to take different strategies. But I can tell you, for myself, I'm done with this section of the build for right now. I get it. I don't have any walls up on this second floor, but honestly, I don't care. My main priority whenever I make buildings is making sure that the roof line is interesting. If your roof line looks cool, you're gonna have a cool build. If your roof line looks bad, you're gonna have a bad build. So what I do is I get my roof in place and I get a general skeleton for the bottom section of the build. Once I have this in, I move on and I'm gonna start working on this section. Once I get this section in, then I'll start working on this section. And then once I have all three sections in with a general skeleton with a roof, then I'll come back in, I'll fill in all the walls, I'll detail the walls, and actually finish up the project. But I don't take this section by section and detail everything out, pretty everything. I don't do that. I make sure that my build more generally works, and then I add the details. Then I add in the walls. Some people probably, this is going to drive nuts, so some people may just want to fill this in with like something blank for now or something. Not me. Leave it open. I don't care. I'm just going to leave this open. And like I mentioned, I'm actually going to do this roof out of gray concrete, which is actually a full block. And I know this isn't to everyone's taste, but I actually kind of like full block roofs, especially if you get fancy with them and use some dark oak slabs or something like that to kind of tailor them down toward the middle. They can actually look really cool, and another just, simple design that you can implement into your roofs. Now, if you don't like the look of full block roofs for whatever reason, just make sure that if you're gonna have like brick, don't pick something that has white or red instead of this. So I would say dark oak would probably look good, or anything that's darker I think would look good for this roof. So maybe dark prismarine, because I know that they have some stair blocks for that. Just something like that could look really cool here if you don't like, full block roofs. I happen to not mind them, so I think that this is going to look really cool. I will say that if you're going to do full block roofs though, make sure that you're doing them at least 2 high whenever you do them, except for the point. The point can be 1 high, but anything that's going upward, make sure that it's 2 high, because otherwise it's going to look a little bit funny. So just hot tip there, if you've never used a full block roof and you want to use one in the future, hot tip, make sure that you're going at least 2 high up every time. If you just go 1 high, it can start to look a little bit weird. Okay, so I went ahead and got in the last roof, and taking a step back now, and you can kind of see the shape that the build is going to look like. You can see almost the finished product, and now it's basically just all filling in walls and detailing. And this is how I like to build. This is what I call, skeletoning. It's building a skeleton of your build and then doing the detailing, then getting in all of your walls and prettying the whole thing up. A lot of builders build this way. It's not everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people like finishing one section before moving on. But in my opinion, this is probably my favorite way to build, because I think it's the easiest for people to visualize and to see where they're going next. Okay, so now for the walls of this build. We have the general shape in, but now let's think about a little bit more of the nitty-gritty details of the build. And first thing, windows. I don't think I want a ton of windows on the back side of our inn here. And the reason is there's really not a ton to look at. I mean, a giant, dark, spooky cave, that's probably not going to be nice for customers to look into. So I'm thinking on the backside, maybe not a ton of windows. Maybe not a ton of windows. Maybe a few like on this side looking out into the town. And then toward the backside, maybe we'll have a couple over here and we'll put like, I don't know, maybe a garden or a fountain in this area or something. But I really think that the backside, I want to not have a ton of windows in them. But for the front side, I want this to be overloaded with windows because a nice port view looking out over the docks, how beautiful would that be? So I want not only windows on this level, but I think I also want to carve into this roof here and add in some windows into the roof up there as well. I think that will make that roof look a little bit different, as well as add more windows for us to look out of and let light into the inn. I think that's going to be really cool. Okay, so I've shown how to do these windows that stick out from roofs before, but I'm actually going to do this one a little bit differently, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So first off, I'm just going to take out a 3-wide section here, and I'm going to come with half slabs just like so. Now I'm going to carve out the roof a little bit more, and on the back of these half slabs, I'm going to place a full block of white concrete, come across like this, and then come up by 2 on each side. In between those, we're going to have a point right there, and now you can see we have our basic window shape. Now let's go ahead and get our stairs in. So stair here, and then we're going to bust out this portion of the roof and just wrap our stairs around like that. Stair here, and then stair here, and then we're going to take out this part of the roof and wrap around our stairs just like that. And then down the middle, we are going to do a nice spruce slab that's going to meet up with the roof, and then the exact same thing on this side. So stair, remove this, another stair, and then stair, remove this, another stair, and then overhang stair, and an overhang stair just like so. Now we can come into the actual window and remove the extra stone brick stairs, and if we get down, you will see that we have ourselves a nice, pretty window. Gorgeous! Okay, so the last section that we really need to work on is this, the main entranceway into the inn. And I actually want to do something a little bit unique here. So what I want to do is actually have a staircase for people to walk up in order to enter into the building. So what I'm going to do is use these blocks as kind of a railing, and then I'm just going to come with stone bricks coming straight across all the way until we reach where this wall would be. Go ahead and drag that all the way across like so, and that'll be kind of our entrance into the build. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag some stone bricks across here, and this will be where our wall goes and our doorway and all of that. So absolutely perfect. I think I'm going to change a few things up here though, real quick, just so we can get some light in. I don't actually have any lanterns on me, so I guess we'll put a torch here for now. And then over here, we will do the same thing. Put a torch in there for now. And this is kind of what I was thinking. So nice staircase with a 3-wide gap in the middle. And we can put some nice doors right up here. And we'll basically be entering in to the second floor. But that means that we still have a lot of room to work with down here in the basement. So we can still do some really cool stuff. So for big walls like this, I like to try and break them up into pieces in order to fill them in and decorate them. Now, how you do this is kind of up to you, but what I like to do is split them into odd numbered sections. So as you can see, this is 1, 2, 3 blocks high, and then a beam across. Then 1, 2, 3 blocks high, and a beam across. And I like to break things up into sections because I think it looks nice, and it's also pretty easy to detail when you do things like that. I'm doing the exact same thing on the backside of the build as well. Right now, I am just making some horizontal lines going across the sections that I still need to fill in, That way I can just shape this section at a time. So this section, and then shape this section, and then this section and that section. And you're basically breaking each one of these into their own individual units that you can decorate one at a time. And it just makes it a little bit easier to break up these really, really large areas and fill in your walls. So I'm at a point now in which all of the walls are in, all of the roofs are in, and I have a pretty good idea of the entire layout of the build, but it's still kind of ugly. And the reason is we have absolutely no texturing and absolutely no detailing on the entire build. No trapdoors, no slabs, no nothing. It is just a structure, and it's boring. So this is the point in which I need to bust out some half slabs, bust out some trapdoors, bust out some texturing blocks to break up all of this cobblestone. And this is kind of the point in which a build really comes to life. So let's go ahead and let's time lapse this. Let's get in all of the pretty little details, and then I'll come back and show you guys what we've done. Oh man, oh, I love the way that this inn has turned out. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that. It's still the same structure. It's still got the exact same bones, but we've now added in a bit of texturing and a bit of detail to the entire thing. And I just want to take a moment and point out some of the things that I did here in order to kind of bring this whole build to life. Starting off with the foundation of the build. So I decided to change out all of the cobblestone into cobblestone and andesite. And I did a bit of a gradient, which, hello bush, please don't do that to me. I decided to do a bit of a gradient, and you can tell it better on this side. But I tried to keep with cobblestone kind of toward the bottom, and then stone in the middle, and then andesite toward the top. And I kept that exact same thing all the way around the entire build. That's how I textured the foundation. Now, apart from that, we had white concrete across the entire build, and with too much white concrete with nothing to break it up, it really starts to be a bit too much. So what I did was I just took some raw diorite and I just sprinkled it in here and there throughout the entire build to give it a little bit more of that stucco style texture to the whole thing. And I think that it turned out looking pretty good. I actually really like that. Same thing with the roof. We did texture it a little bit as well by adding in some just raw granite stairs into our brick roof. And just another little thing to break up the entire build. Now, most of the detailing happens around windows and any flat surfaces. For instance, above this door, I decided to hang a banner. I may eventually put a pattern or something on that banner, but for right now, just a banner. Also around the windows, added in some shutters, added in some window sills, just things like that. Just that, break up flat walls, make things look a little bit different. So let's go ahead and head around to the left side. I have a small kind of garden-ish area right here with some bushes, some flowers, and just some taller grass. Went ahead and detailed out this side up top. And I'm mostly giving you guys a walk around for if you have any of these types of windows or something and you need ideas of how to do them. It's, this is a pretty good way to do them. That's some ideas. In fact, I actually need to go and put flowers in those pots right there. I actually forgot to do that. I have poppies on me. Do I have dandelions somewhere? Or, really anything. It doesn't have to be poppies and dandelions. Do I have any one tall plants, bushes, something like that? No. Okay. Tell you what, we're calling an audible. We're going to do poppies and we're going to do sweet berries because that's all that I have. That's all that I have, so we're going to make it work. All right, let's get up here and let's just fill in these plant pots. So, berry bush there, poppy there, and I don't have bone meal on me. I'll have to come back and do that in a minute. And then maybe we'll do Poppy here and Barry there. Beautiful. Okay, that would have bugged me because I would have forgot to do it again. But there we go. That's another little bit of a little detail that you can do around your windows. Same thing with up here. Same thing down here. Over on this side, I had this big flat wall toward the back of the build, and I figured, you know what would be really cool would be to add kind of a vine terrace type thing that is coming down the side of the building. We've done this on our starter home before, and it looked really good, and this one could probably use a little bit of work still. It looks a little bit flat, but overall, I am happy with it. Oh, another thing that I actually forgot to mention, I added in a chimney because, well, it's an inn, and I feel like an inn should definitely have a fireplace. So I just added in a small chimney to the back here that goes up and gives us a nice little plume of smoke up at the top. Just a small detail. It's really going to matter for the interior of the build more, but just something that I wanted to call out that I did change. Got some windows at the back, a couple different designs for windows, and then all the way at the back, I actually had kind of this dead space in this area that I really wanted to fill in. So I decided to go with a bit of a park. I don't know how much sense this makes, but I feel like it's kind of cool, right? People that go to the inn and during the day, they just kind of want to relax. Maybe they come out here and they sit at the fountain and just hang out, talk with their buddies and their pals or something. I don't know. I thought it was cool. So I added in a pretty little flat fountain, added in some benches, added in some street lamps, and I like it. I think that it turned out pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's this build done for the most part. There's just one problem, right? There's just one problem, and that's that there's absolutely no interior. Absolutely no interior. And it's going to remain that way for today because this interior, I imagine, is going to be a massive undertaking. But I would like to walk you guys through a bit of my ideas. So as you can tell, whenever we walk into this section here, we actually drop down a little bit. And my idea with this was I kind of wanted a cellar bar style area to be underneath the foundation. So foundation level is going to go up to here, and this is going to be basically everything above this line is going to be all in space. So rooms and a front desk and things like that. But if you come out here and you go down these stairs, I want you to be kind of in a Witcher style bar or something like that. So maybe have like a bar over here for you to get drinks at. Over here you have like a lounge style area. Over here we're gonna have our fireplace, and I just think we can make this look a little bit dark, but also really cool area to be in. And I don't know, I just like this. I really like this. I think that the entire inn came out looking really nice. Really, really nice. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually all that I have time for today. I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. It is our first major build of the port area, and I like it. I think it turned out looking cool. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And if you have any suggestions for the build, always leave those in the comments section down below as well, because I am reading all of your comments and responding to most of them as well. And I actually plan on implementing some of your guys' idea into the port during some of my live streams. So be sure to tune into those, as well as leave comments so I have more things that I can add in that are your guys' suggestions. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day. Also, one last thing, pretty sure we're about to hit 50K, so last time, thank you guys.